the guardian of the Whispering Forest deep within a vast and ancient jungle, known as the Whispering Forest, where sunlight filtered through thick emerald canopies and the air hummed with life. There lived a woman named Alara. To outsiders, the forest was a place of danger, a wild, untamed land filled with unpredictable creatures. But to Alara, it was home, a living, breathing world she had sworn to protect. Alara was no ordinary woman. Tall, strong, and sharp-eyed, she moved through the forest as if she were part of it. Her dark hair was often tied back with vines, and her clothes were made from natural fibers, designed for silence and speed. But it wasn't just her appearance that made her remarkable, it was her courage, and her deep understanding of the balance between humans and animals. Years ago, when Alara was just a child, her village stood at the edge of the forest. One night, a group of frightened villagers hunted down a tiger that had wandered too close. Fearing for their safety, Alara had watched helplessly as a majestic creature fell, not out of malice, but out of fear. That moment changed her forever. She realized that most conflicts between humans and animals were born from misunderstanding, not aggression. From that day on, Alara dedicated her life to becoming a bridge between the two worlds. Now, she worked alone in the forest, protecting both the animals from humans and humans from the animals. Word of her bravery spread across nearby villages. When danger rose, people didn't call soldiers or hunters, they called Alara. One humid afternoon, a young boy came running into the forest's edge, breathless and terrified. "Please, someone help! My father is trapped near the river. The elephants are angry." Alara didn't hesitate. Grabbing her staff and a small pouch of herbs, she followed the boy deep into the forest. As they approached the river, the ground trembled slightly, a clear sign that a herd of elephants was nearby. Alara raised her hand, signaling the boy to stay back. Slowly, she moved forward alone. Before her stood a massive herd of elephants, their ears flared and trunks raised. In the center, a man lay injured, unable to move. One wrong step and the herd could charge, but Alara didn't reach for a weapon. Instead, she closed her eyes and listened. The forest spoke in subtle ways, the rustling leaves, the calls of distant birds, the low rumbles of the elephants. She noticed something unusual, a smaller elephant nearby, limping slightly. Understanding dawned on her. The herd wasn't angry, they were protective. Alara stepped forward carefully, her movements slow and deliberate. She lowered her staff and began to hum a soft, calming tune, a sound she had learned from years of observing the forest rhythms. The elephants shifted uneasily but did not attack. She reached into her pouch and pulled out a healing salve. Moving gently, she approached the injured young elephant. Every step was a risk, but her calm presence spoke louder than fear. Finally, she knelt beside the creature and applied the salve to its wounded leg. For a moment, everything was still. Then, the great matriarch of the herd stepped forward. Her massive eyes locked onto Alara, not with anger, but with understanding. After a tense silence, the matriarch let out a low rumble and stepped aside. The path to the injured man was clear. Alara quickly signaled the boy, who rushed forward to help his father. Together, they carried him away from danger. Before leaving, Alara turned back. The young elephant tested its leg, now stronger, and the herd slowly retreated into the forest, disappearing like shadows. That night, the villagers gathered around a fire, speaking in awe of what had happened. She faced an entire herd without fear. One said, "No." Another corrected softly. She faced them with understanding. Alara sat quietly at the edge of the gathering, staring into the flames. She didn't see herself as a hero. To her, this was simply her duty. The forest was not an enemy. It was a world full of life, emotion, and connection. And she believed that as long as someone was willing to listen, to truly listen, peace was always possible. But her work was never done, because beyond the safety of the firelight, the Whispering Forest continued to breathe, to grow, and sometimes to cry out for help. And whenever it did, Alara would be there. The guardian of the forest, the protector of balance, the brave woman who stood between fear and understanding and chose courage every time.